Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, we'll be discussing the 1990. Every time I start a video, I'm going to go on a stupid coughing fit. I'm going to discuss the 1991 baseball film, Talent for the Game, starring Edward James Olmos and Lorraine Bracco. I was supposed to say a pre-Sopranos Lorraine Bracco. Because this film aired just this past Monday. I'm doing this on Friday of the first full week of the baseball season. And this movie aired on the channel called Movies TV, which is like one of those over-the-air digital channels, which you can pick up. But some cable systems have this channel on there, and I think it has to be like the fourth or fifth year in a row where they show baseball movies on the first Monday of baseball, when the baseball season is over on Monday. Remember those days, folks? And they used to show a whole slew of baseball films, from the Buenos Bears to some of the movies I've already previously reviewed. Because one called where they had Mickey Mouse and Roger Maris in it. And the name of this game, and he did do this review a year or 2 years ago. And so if you look up that review, and they used to show the Buenos Bears, they showed the Spirit of Spain, the Spirit of St. Louis. It was about the Baseball Hall of Famer Dizzy Dean. They used to show all these baseball films, but they usually show like for 24 hours baseball movies straight. But I guess since some baseball movies are now on cable, like the Buenos Bears movie series, or movies like Major League or Field of Dreams, those movies are now came back on rotation on cable television, like on Showtime, HBO, Retroflex, whatever, TCM, whatever. So, guess the Movies TV station ran out of movies, so they decided to run this film, which is called Talent for the Game. Like I said, it's called Edward James Olmos, from Stand and Deliver, Battlestar Galactica reboot, the Selena film with Jennifer Lopez, which put Jennifer Lopez on the movie world, to put Jennifer Lopez on the map as a movie star. Stars as Virgil, a baseball scout, working for the California Angels. Now, of course, there's one big mistake in this movie I should point out right at the top. Is not so much of the plot, but where the movie was filmed. Of course, like I said, like I just mentioned, the Edward James Olmos plays a scout for the California Angels named Virgil. The problem is that the baseball scenes were filmed, at least the scenes that they're going to get up to eventually, when the player that Virgil finds on the boondocks somewhere was filmed in Dodger Stadium, not an Angel Stadium. So that's the major mistake. It's Dodger. Anybody who's a baseball fan knows there's Dodger Stadium in the movie. And it was back in the days before they renovated Dodger Stadium, and they put those extra seats. And they got rid of those, what they call the dugout seats. It's right by home plate. There's a gate. There's a fence there, and the fans are like sitting on the same level as the baseball players. And what they call dugout seats behind home plate there, in the home plate area. And they took those seats out, and they put the more seats like sloped down onto the field behind home plate. Now, the seats where Larry King and Mary Horse sit now, if you watch Dodger games, those seats are been there for a few years now. I think roughly 10 years, more give or take. And the old dugout seats are not there anymore. And you see by home plate Dodger Stadium. So they have those seats there now. So I just should mention that. The baseball scenes at the end of the film were Dodger Stadium, not Anaheim Stadium. So I should point that out. So anyway, like I said, I know it's a long introduction, so go back to the movie. So the movie was, like I said, Edward James Olmos' character, Virgil, is a scout for the California Angels. And he's looking for a new, we call a phenom, to come up through the minor leagues and be a dominant player. Well, the problem was that the California Angels had just been sold to a new owner. In order to give he cares about the bottom line, making a profit. He doesn't care about developing players. It'll take a long time to, it does take a long time to develop decent players to be eligible to be come up through the farm system and be pretty damn good major league ball players. It takes a long time to develop, especially if anybody who's any good major baseball talent. It takes them years to develop them, so they can go on to major leagues and be a successful team in the major league level. And not only a successful team, but also successful players as well. So, LA James almost looking for a guy who could come up to the major leagues right away and be a huge major league star. And while his car broke down, he was there with his girlfriend, Lorraine Bracco, who also works for the Angels. And they happened to stumble as they waited for the car to be repaired. They looked across the way in a baseball round game, and there was this pitcher who was throwing, as they would say, throwing gas. I mean, it was like throwing like 95 to 98 mile an hour fastballs, and he has great curveballs and sliders and everything. He was just, an unbelievable pitcher. This kid, he fights. So he ends up getting this guy, and his parents to sign a contract to have him, to sign him for the Angels. The father eventually agrees to it, and he takes him to L.A. To Dodger Stadium, not Anaheim Stadium, which I mentioned earlier, and he has a tryout. And so the new owner from the Angels was impressed with this guy. He was so impressed with him, instead of sending him, let's say, down to the minors to develop him into a major league player, to give him some extra coaching so he could develop his talent. Even though he already could pitch, but he wanted to develop him as a person and develop him into a better player. He teach him how to throw a changeup or something like that, which you have to do at the minor league level, so he could be much better pitcher. But the owner just didn't give a shit. He considered about, this guy would be great, drawing huge money for the team and stuff. So what he did was he signed, not only did he signed into a contract, but B, had next him pitch the next Saturday, the Saturday after he signed him, in Dodger Stadium in a home game against Kansas City. Ironically, Kansas City. I'm going to get to that in a minute as well. And Virgil, the averaging almost character, says, this guy's not ready. Let him pitch for a year in the minors. Even Tom Seaver pitched 1 year in the minor leagues before he became ready. Even though he didn't say that line, but it's true. Tom Seaver pitched a year in the minors before he became, a Hall of Fame pitcher. So the owner doesn't give a shit. All I care about was the bottom line. So he let him pitch. Long story short, he lets him pitch in the first inning. He gets rocked. In the first inning, he gives up like 4 runs in the first inning. He gives up hit. His team is not drilling ground balls behind him, was making a couple of errors, and the guy going to deal with it. And not only that, but the team said, I can't believe this is going to be like a super publicity stunt, and all this crap. And it says this is going to be a circus. Yeah, we're a major league team. This is Major League Baseball, not Ringling Brothers. All those type of comments, and he heard all this stuff. The pitcher, he heard all these comments and said that the team doesn't have any confidence in him because they all felt they should be sent to the minors right away instead of pitching in the major leagues. Not only his first major league start, of course, but his first professional game, without any training in the minor leagues. So they're pissed off at him. So for no reason, and except for, well, it's true, it was a publicity stunt by the owner, but having this guy pitch right away, and right as soon as he signed him. So that he shouldn't have done. It's such a cliche. You have an asshole for an owner, right? The scout knows better than everybody. This is kind of like the movie that was made like years later, Trouble with the Curve with Clint Eastwood. It's almost the same cliche. Instead of a pitcher, it was a hitter in Trouble with the Curve. But it's almost the same cliche. But Trouble with the Curve was which I felt was a much better movie than this movie is. Even though it was pretty much the same premise, Trouble with the Curve was much better because Clint Eastwood was behind that movie. So his movies, no disrespect intended to Edward James Olmos. I liked Edward James Olmos as an actor, but I felt that Trouble with the Curve was much better. And it's like the same premise, but Trouble with the Curve was much better. I felt. But anyway, what happened is because he was getting, the pitcher was getting rocks in the first thing, so the owner, or the new owner, wanted to get rid of him, just like that, release him. He wanted to have the GM fired. It was played by for the Law and Order fans out there, by Jamie Sheridan, who played the captain the original captain in Law and Order the Criminal Intent show, the Law and Order franchise. He was the original GM. He gets promoted to the GM. The new owner took over. He wanted to fire him. He also wanted to fire Edward James Olmos' character, because as I told you, this guy should have started in the minor leagues first. Because I know this kid, and you should have started him there first. And the guy says, "You're fired." I said, "I'm not fired, I quit." So he says, "F you." And so, "You can't fire me, I have a 2-year contract." And Virgil says to him, and he says, "F you," pretty much saying, "F you, I'm quitting anyway. Because I told you how to do it, and you don't listen to me." So he says, "F you, I'm quitting." So, but what happens is, before Virgil leaves, he decides to put on his catching gear, goes out in the second inning, impersonates the catcher, goes out in the second inning, and right away they wanted to take up the pitcher after 1 inning. But Virgil comes in, the pitcher goes out, the manager says, "Hey, I won the team. You paid the bills and I won the team." And puts the pitcher out again for the second inning. So Virgil comes out with the catching gear, impersonates the regular everyday catcher, and says, "Hey, let's throw to me, kid, like you threw to me the other day. You throw to me, like you did then." He said, "Okay." So he's supposed to. So the pitcher gets back his confidence, and starts throwing BBs to Virgil, and all of a sudden everybody's going, "Wow!" And he struck out the side in like a 9 pitches or something, and he ended up pitching the rest of the game. He pitched well. He settled down, and he pitched well. And everybody was like, "Wow!" And then his career was pretty much set. At the end of the movie, he does negotiate a contract with a new team, getting like $1 million a year for like 3-year contract or something like that. And everything is going to be okay. His pitcher's going to be fine. He's going to have a great career, yada yada, and all this stuff. Well, I should mention why I said the ironically with the Kansas City Royals, that the Angels were playing the Kansas City Royals in this game, because the baseball announcer, was Ken Brett. Yes, the brother of George Brett, who a couple years ago, unfortunately, he passed away. So, rest in peace, Ken Brett. But it was funny to see Ken Brett in this game, because he did pitch for Kansas City in the time where George Brett was obviously there, so they were teammates for a while. So it was funny to see Ken Brett in this movie. I don't know if it actually was him, but he announced himself as Ken Brett, and it was pretty funny. That's why he says ironically it's Kansas City in this movie, playing against the California Angels. And of course, the movie does get resolved with Edward James almost going back to scouting at the end of the movie, and because he was a scout. But the movie, it was a cliche film, especially since they saw the movie and previously mentioned Trouble with the Curve with Clint Eastwood, which I previously reviewed. So check out that review. I have seen that movie, and and it's almost the same plot, it's almost the same premise, except in Trouble with the Curve was a hitter, was a home run hitter, unlike a Nolan or Roger Clemens or Nolan Ryan type pitcher in talent for the game. It's the same premise as Trouble with the Curve, but I like Trouble with the Curve better because they had like a mother-daughter relationship thing going on there, and so it's a little bit better than if that was better than Talent for the Game. I mean, there's no real in Talent for the Game. There's no real conflicts there, except for between Edward James Olmos and the new owner of the Angels, maybe. Yeah, that's about it. But other than that conflict, or trying to prove to the new owner that you need scouting, you need scouts on the team to get to find and sign new talent for the team. And so that's the only real conflict in this movie. But everything in this movie was pretty much a cliche. In a baseball film like this, it's always a cliche, but Edward James almost makes it work. I mean, he was really the one that makes it work in this movie. So I do recommend it, especially if you have to be a fan of Edward James Olmos in this film, or you want to see Lorraine Bracco before she was starred in The Sopranos. So that's my review of Talent for the Game. Please click on the video, please rate it. Please subscribe to my channel, please forward this video to your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews and only on my YouTube channel at RowleyC.com, so WDY, and then C.com, it's the homepage of the Rowley Reviewer. Please need more, please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching, catch you next time.